I bought this super cheap, neglected 2013 Chevy Cruze from Facebook Marketplace. Now, there was one thing, it didn't run good at all. So today I'm gonna take you guys through the step-by-step process of how I picked up this car from Facebook Marketplace and how I fixed it and made over $2,000 in pure profit. Let's get into the video.
So here I am looking at a random car from Facebook Marketplace. Now, when I go look at a car, I try to feel the person's energy. I just want to make sure that the person is not a flipper, and I want to make sure it was their personal car. I don't want to buy cars from flippers at all. Here's what he had to say.
It's pretty well taken care of.
Yeah, and then like the codes,
trying to work on it.
like any codes and stuff like that. Like
the only code on it is low boost.
Yeah,
you know, because I could just hear this little squeak noise.
Yeah. So it took time for it to go out.
Yeah, it did. So you got all kinds of new on the way to finding that out.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we negotiated a price and I got him to where I needed him to be. I had my trailer ready. He saw I was serious. I had my cash in hand. Never negotiate over text. Never negotiate over Facebook Marketplace. Now the car is mine. I strapped it up and took it away.
Okay, so we got the car home. I gotta say, I'm happy with my purchase. This car does have 181,000 miles, so it is high mileage for these Chevys. But I gotta tell you, this guy had all of the service records and he really took care of it. It was only one owner. He's a landscaper. He used to do estimates with this car, so he pretty much just did that with this car. So let's go over this car and see what's wrong with it. Let's see if there's anything that we need to fix other than the main problem I'm about to show you. So if you look at the car, there's 0 accidents on this car, one owner, and it looks clean. The only thing I notice over here is there's a slight dent. You can see that. Nothing crazy. It could stay like that. I might try to push it out, but I'm not really stressing that. That's like very, very small. But if we walk around the car, it's super clean. Nothing wrong with it at all. All of the tires look like this, basically brand new. Here's the front, nice tread. You can see the brakes were done as well. He used like the drill cross brakes. Brake pads are great. As for the interior, does need some work, pretty dirty, but not really. That's just dirt, stain. Here's the back. Again, stains on there, could be taken out. And then there's this key. You can see it doesn't spring open. Also, it doesn't unlock. It doesn't unlock the doors. So if I click on it, it doesn't do anything, but it locks the doors. The issue is the guy told me if I lock the door, then the alarm is gonna go off and it's gonna be hard to start the car. And I already did that by mistake. It starts to hunk. But these key fobs are about $15 on Amazon. I'm gonna try to remove the inside and replace the outside of the key fob. Let's pop the hood. As you saw when we picked up the car, you heard a loud noise. And this will be the major issue. Let's start her up. Now this, my friends, what you're hearing, now that is a bad turbo, guys. One of the most common problems with the Chevy Cruzes is the bad turbo, guys. And that's pretty much what we're facing here. We're gonna have to remove that turbo and change it out. Now, because of that, because I had to buy the turbo, because of the labor, and because the mileage of the car, I picked up this car for only 600 bucks. But there's a little bit of labor involved, and I'm gonna show you guys that today. Let's scan it so I can show you the codes. So I did scan it before we took the car just to make sure there were any other codes on there. So you can see we have a P0299 turbocharger. And then we also have an evap leak, detected small leak. So that's pretty straightforward, guys. The evap leak could be caused by the turbocharger. So we're gonna go ahead, nail that turbocharger first, and then from there, we'll figure out the evap. So here's what's going on. We got a bunch of snow, but the good part is that the snow is over and we received our turbo in the mail. So we're gonna be doing our turbo. So while I was waiting for the snow to pass, I went ahead and fixed that key. So I tried my best to change the shell of this key, but it turns out I had to go get a whole new one. I ordered that and got the key cut. Let's see if we can program it ourselves. I did some research. So it looks like I can reprogram this myself without going to the dealer. So I got the old key right here. You can see it's all beat up. It has a broken button here. And here's the new that I purchased on Amazon, and I got that one cut. As you can see, it's cut just like that. They're both the same. So apparently to reprogram this, you want to put this key in first. The old one, you want to turn it, let it ding for 5 times, and then you want to put this one in, let it ding for 5 times, and it should open and close the doors. As for now, it's not opening and closing the doors. You can see me clicking it, not doing anything. So we're going to put the old one in right now. We're going to let this thing ding 5 times. Put it in, Take it out. Let's put the new one in. Then I should turn it off and it should work. Let's see. Yep. Okay, you can see that this key is working. Let's start it up. All right, starts the car and everything. We're good to go. We're gonna keep this key just in case they want it. You never know. So this way they have two keys, but they got one good key, one bad key. So one of the #1 questions I keep getting from people online is, how do you get these cars for so cheap? Now, to be honest, most people don't even believe me. They leave comments like, there's no way he paid that much for this car. Now you see, when you're buying cars from Facebook Marketplace, you have to be the first one to catch the ad. There's plenty of wolves in your area that are asking people if it's still available. So if you're actually the first one to respond to the ad and you go see the car as soon as possible, then you'll get a car like this for the price that I got it for. But then a company called Swoopa reached out to me and wanted me to try out their app. Now at first I was a little hesitant because I was like, I don't want to try to sell my people anything, but this app is the real deal, guys. Let me show you guys how it works. Check it out. So here's how Swoopa works. You get instant notifications right to your phone when someone posts a new ad on Facebook. You're getting notifications in real time. For instance, I got a notification at 7:22. It is now 7:24. They even tell you if it's a steal or a deal. How do they do that? They compare the prices to what the cars are selling for on Facebook in your area to the price that the seller is selling the car for. So you don't have to research how much the cars are selling for. Here's how to set up your search. Click on cars and trucks, motorcycles, whatever you want. Choose your area. I'm in New York. Now here's the powerful part. You could pick Facebook, OfferUp, Craigslist, eBay, whatever you want. I like Facebook. Next, you could pick instant to get instant notifications. Then you could choose the cars, the type, the mileage, and the price. I like to stick at 3,000. So as you guys can see, Swoopa is official. I use it myself. I recently got 2 deals just using the app. Check out Swoopa, download it. Link is going to be in the description. Check them out. So it looks like we got a solid key. Let's get this thing on the lift and change out this turbo. Okay, so our new turbo is here. We're gonna open this thing up, take a look, make sure it's the right turbo before we start ripping things apart. There goes that turbo. It is the same one, I can tell. Looks good. We also went ahead and bought all of the lines that go with it because I figured since I'm in there and I'm changing the turbo, I might as well change the oil and antifreeze lines as well. Now I got 2 options here. I can remove the catalytic converter or just loosen this bolt right here so I can have a little bit of play with the catalytic converter when I'm removing the turbo, because there's a bolt that's stuck behind it. So looking at these catalytic converter bolts, they don't look that bad. I'm honestly thinking about just giving it a shot and removing that catalytic because those 2 bolts are very, very hard to get to. They're pretty much stuck all the way up there and this is pretty much in the way. I can see one of them, but the other one is behind one of the coolant tubes I have to change, so pray for me. I'm gonna go try to remove these bolts.
So if you're from California, Florida, somewhere where it's hot, you're probably saying, why is he saying pray for me? Well, I live on the Northeast and this is the rust capital, guys. And you can make a mistake and really break a bolt because things are so rusty, but thankfully those weren't.
All right, guys, so here's our turbo. We have to remove this heat shield. We got our converter loose already. We got to remove that. We're gonna remove this tube here and we're gonna just take everything apart and get this out of here. Okay, so we got a stuck bolt right over here on this catalytic converter. So unfortunately, I can't get it out. I lifted the car up, get that last bolt, and it's pretty much stripped. I tried to use my bolts that you guys probably saw me use in the last video. I would catch a strip bolt. It's not gripping on there. It's just in an awkward position. Okay, guys, so I found a solution. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna break this part off. This is the part that's connected to those 2 bolts up there. I'm just gonna take that off because I have the new hoses. This is that part. So this is how it looks. You have that piece that I just finished breaking so I can pull it out, which is this. I broke this little part right here. You have that one screw that I was able to remove that's all the way up behind the catalytic converter, and you have this one at a lean. Look at the lean angle. So if the catalytic converter is right here, I cannot get that screw. So that's why people remove the catalytic converter, because they don't buy these pieces. I'm assuming they try to save this. So I'm assuming that the dealer, when they do it, they probably just break this thing off, remove the whole turbo, and change out this part. And that's what I'm doing anyway. So once I release the turbo, this will pop out. I don't need this piece anymore. So I'm assuming the people that try to save it, they're trying to save this. We got it, guys. We got this thing out. Let's check it out. So as you can see, that turbo is cracked right here. There's a nice crack right there. It's destroyed. This thing is bad. And then also, this is that bolt right here that I was struggling with that was behind the catalytic converter. You can see that this pipe was coming down. This is the part that I ripped out. I broke the piece that was here, like I showed you on the other part. You can see that's the bolt that I was struggling with. To get behind there, Cadillac is sitting like this in front, so you have to get that swivel and then kind of get on here and then take it off. So here's our open area now where we're going to put our new turbo. You see that cat looks really good. It's not dirty at all inside there. It looks good down here. A lot of this oil and stuff, again, is from these lines, the coolant, the oil and stuff like that, because it's all connected. All those hoses pretty much had a leak. Check out our new turbo. You can see that this one doesn't have a crack like the other one does over here. You can see that this is not loose. The fan is not loose in there. Everything is just fresh. So let's see if I'm as smart as I think I am. So there's our tube that we have to put inside the oil pan. Let's see if I can push it in. So unfortunately, whatever I did, I cannot get that thing in. I think I need 2 sets of hands. I need one person to hold it right here while I'm under the car trying to guide the oil tube into the hole. Other than that, I'm trying to lift up the turbo and put the tube in at the same time, and it's just not working. So what I was able to do was remove out the catalytic converter. This was the bracket that was stuck with the bolt, but I realized I had way more space to take out that bolt once the turbo was out of the way. But we got way more space. We're gonna be able to put those bolts on that oil tube the easier way.
By far the hardest part of this job was one screw, guys. I mean, that thing was such a pain in the neck trying to figure out how I'm gonna get to it. That thing put me through hell and back, guys. But I tell you, it's all worth it because I know how to do it now. If I ever run into one of these cars, I know exactly what to do. But that's just how it is, I guess, when you're fixing cars. You always run into different challenges and you learn from each mistake. I think my first initial idea was great. I just needed that second pair of hands, like I said, to guide it while I stuff in that tube, guys. But we got it done, and let's see if it works.
And now for the moment of truth, guys. This is my first turbo I ever changed. Hopefully she works. So as you can see, she's running nice and smooth. You see a little bit of smoke because that's the leftover oil that fell on top of the catalytic converter. You know, all the oil and stuff that I was touching with my hands is burning off of the manifold right now. So you're seeing that smoke. But other than that, she's running smooth. So here we are on the official test drive, and she's riding really good. Feels really smooth. I'm gonna ride this thing out till the code's clear. And it looks like we got ourselves an official car. Man, this thing wasn't even driving before. It was like stuttering and like shutting off. And I'll tell you guys, it feels really good when you get the job done correctly. Okay, now that she's riding good and running like a dream, we're gonna do the detail. Now for this detail, we'll be vacuuming the car and getting the stains off the seats. For those stains, we'll be using Carpet Bomber. Now you can see that those seats are pretty stained. The floor is dirty. We're gonna start off with the vacuum, get all of the debris out the way before we spray any of our chemicals. Let's go. So here we are at the final process of the flip, guys. We're going ahead and doing our vacuum. Make sure that you vacuum everything nice and clean. You can see I found some change. You can take that off the price of the car. I'm just playing around, guys. But yeah, make sure that you vacuum the seats and the floor really, really good, because when we apply our drill brush and start to clean the seats, we don't want any debris in the seats when we finally go to wet vac the seats. So I went ahead and applied that Carpet Bomber, grabbed my drill brush, and really got at these seats to make sure that those stains were removed. Then I grabbed my wet vac
you know, and started just taking out all of the, you know, the wet stains and everything like that. Look at the seats. They look way better than they looked before. I mean, it's a big difference. When a customer walks in the car, the first thing they're gonna see is the seats and just the overall way the car looks. The inside is very important because that's their home now. You know, people in their cars a lot out of the day. So you can see this seat looks really good as well. We're gonna do this to each panel, guys. Now, a big tip for you guys is to do the seats first before you do the panels. I've made mistakes in the past where I've done the panels first and then did the seats afterwards. You can see that the drill brush is having all of the soap just splash all over the place and it's really wet in the panels. So you want to make sure that you do those panels last, like I'm doing right here. So for the panels, I used a degreaser and pretty much a brush and wiped everything down. This car wasn't that bad, so I didn't have to use a steamer or anything like that. It's coming out really, really good. So this is the final process of the car, guys. All together, all in, I have $967 into this car. Not bad at all. I had about 3 hours of labor, and this car is going to sell for $3,000. I already have a deposit on it for $1,000. So we pretty much made a profit of $2,033, guys. Not bad at all. I'll take that any day for the small amount of work that I did. Was a little bit of headache with the actual turbo itself, but it's all good, guys. Now, guys, if you haven't signed up already, if you don't know, we're giving away a free Civic once we reach 20,000 subscribers. So go ahead, go to the website, Flipping Cars for Fun, flippingcarsforfun.com. Sign up to win that free Honda Civic, guys. There's no gimmicks. I don't want anything from you. It's free. And if you haven't already, go check out Swooper. This is how I'm getting my deals nowadays. This is why you see me doing a lot more Facebook instead of doing dealer auctions. I will talk to you guys soon. Jay here from Flipping Cars for Fun. Go ahead and check out the next video that's about to pop up on the screen. I will talk to you guys soon.